let's just
Mhm.
go dive right in. Do you want to tell the people what we're doing, or do you want me to, or how do you want to do? How do you want to
Yeah.
start the party?
Go ahead. You party, and I'll interject. Welcome back to She's Built Like a CEO. I'm Brooke. If you're building a business to fund the life you actually want, this is the show for you. This is where we're going to talk about what matters, what doesn't, and how to build accordingly so you can have the life you want and the business you dream of. Let's get into it.
So Brooke was putting together an offer, and it's doing something that I have my clients get help with often from other parties, including you, Brooke. I was asking, hey, do we want to do an offer together? And you were like, hey, I forgot to tell you the other day. Yeah, I do want to do an offer with you. And we figured out what the concept was. And then we thought, how fun would it be to take you in the behind the scenes part of the process where we put together our offer when the offer is actually going to include both of us?
I just think it's really amazing how it all ran together because, like, it was 3 days before this whole thing came together. You're like, hey, we should offer together sometime. And I was like, ADHD-brain's like, yes, we should, but never responded to you because,
Correct.
and then I built this offer. We did some work together, and I was like, hey, by the way, doesn't
Remember
this go
that
really
thing where
well
you
with
were
what you
saying maybe
do?
we should
Shouldn't
do an offer together? This
Yeah.
might be the
Like,
one.
remember that time, like 3 days ago, and I didn't respond to you at all? I'm back.
It's called
The most neurodivergent thing ever is the birth
yes.
of this
Yes.
brilliant idea, and I would have
Yeah.
it no other way.
But the
Yeah.
concept was the concept we came up with. I would take a look at like their offer suite, and we would follow their offer, take a look at the messaging, take a look at everything around that. And
Mhm.
then once they clean that up with me, they go on to you and you help them with the back end systems portion of the program. So I think that was what
Yeah.
the concept is. So now how are we going to make this become an actual offer?
Yeah, that's the concept. I think what I was enjoying about our conversations outside of this is talking a little bit about, like, how in depth we want to get with people
Right.
with what you do and what I do. And
Right.
when we first started talking about it, I know we were like, hey, let's kind of keep it like maybe let's do a larger group and keep it a little more high level. And as we
Right.
got to talking, I think we both realized that's not what we want at all. We
Yep.
really want to help somebody like get into the nitty-gritty of their shit and like fix it.
Correct.
So
Right.
and leave there feeling really good. So we went from like this idea of we're going to bring in as many people as possible to, you know what, we'll take maybe 5 people
Yeah.
and you're going to do, and what we discussed, and again, we're fleshing this out today, right? We
Yes.
discussed like doing your 90-minute deep dive with these
Right.
people or a
Right.
version of that. And,
Correct.
and actually going through that process, your world famous 90-minute deep dive.
It is,
It is. It's
one of
world
these days, I'm
famous.
gonna have to literally call it my world famous deep dive. I have it I don't have it called that. I'm tempted, but anyway, it's on the website is the 90-minute business slingshot because that's really what it does. It pulls your business back just a tiny bit without losing revenue and then slingshots it forward so that you start making higher revenue. So that's really
Yeah.
kind of what that deep dive does. And it takes it in, puts it through the lens, through the neurodivergent lens. So are we going to take a look at this like they're ready to up level their offer to a new ideal client, or are they taking an offer they already have and converting it? What do we want them? What are you thinking
I
on
think
the
that
offer
it's
itself?
in my head, I feel like it could be either or. I think what I'm picturing is the person that we're looking for probably has enough offers and needs a
You mean the
focus.
offer graveyard that you talk about that I was talking about
Yeah, the
today on
offer
the podcast?
graveyard.
Right. So either taking
They've
things from
probably
the offer graveyard or what they already have
yeah.
and seeing what's already in there that could be connected that they don't have to do extra work to make it make sense.
For me, that's what makes the most sense to me because I
Yeah.
feel like for me personally, I think for you as well, but I won't speak for you, obviously. Our biggest problem in business isn't that we don't have enough ideas or that we don't have enough brilliance to hand out to the world.
Right.
It's kind of figuring out how we want to present that. And I don't want to say narrowing because that is not what I mean, but I mean
Right.
having a clear, a focus that we can offer to people so that it feels calm and
Right.
so that it feels like you've got a clear, direct path to you.
Right. Because, the whole point is to be able to stay your like chaotic feral self, but feel calm when it comes to like the inner runnings of your business. There's going to be external factors in businesses we're never going to be able to predict. But
Yes.
there are pieces and parts that we can put together that we do know are predictable so that our brain is like, okay, this is always going to happen. I'm not going to have to worry about that. I can kind of let it go. So it's taking a client kind of from more of that hands-on every single part and piece maybe to adding elements to the offer or taking away, making sure that offer feels like they truly the way they want to deliver it has to be a factor because
Right.
so many of us are delivering in ways we hate. Ugh, not a fan.
Yeah.
So making sure
Yeah.
that the
And for
delivery
me, yeah, we're looking for connecting the dots through the path to you, right? So like maybe we have freebies, but those freebies aren't connected to the offer. Or maybe we have maybe we don't have a freebie that goes to the offer that we want it to go to, or things like that.
right.
And so building
There's
that
like a disconnected
path,
piece. Something's disconnected in the path. Their
yeah,
client here it is. Their client road has some kind of clog in it they can't find.
rotor
We're gonna
rooter,
take a look at the off yeah. Business roto-rooter, we're gonna take a look at the offer itself. That's where I come in and see if there's
right?
any roto to rootering rooting to rotor. I don't know
Yeah,
how to say
rooter to
that, but I know
rotor.
how to rotor, but you know what I mean? And then you're gonna take a look at the back end portion of it, like the what systems and everything are in place and go, this you have way too many things here. Oh, you could simplify this, and you're gonna help them with that portion of it.
Right, right.
That feels
So
good
when
because that's a full client experience that's what we're helping them deliver is making sure their client experience is fucking white glove. Like it's so like tip top that they just get to show up and deliver to their clients and sell as opposed
yeah,
to have to figure out how to keep manning the back end system.
right. So you got the offer covered
Yes.
in a way that like this is the greatest offer on the planet because it is.
Right.
And then
Mhm. Mhm.
I can come in and make sure that all paths that are in there are connected technically.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what we mean by that would be like, is the freebie connected to the offer with like
Well,
the
let's
link
give an
to
example
some of
you
the
just did for me.
yeah, yeah.
So, for example, because I'm interrupting you, it's what we do.
I
Um,
love it. Me too. I had
That's
coffee to
why I
drink.
love you. Good. I had a link in my signature line of my newsletter that goes out every week. That
Mhm.
is linked to a link that was not going to the right place because I had shortened the URL in
Mm,
Google. And so when you'd click it, it wasn't taking people to where it was supposed to go. I am sure I lost people applying because of that. Not that they couldn't take another method, but one click makes it easier for them to like not have to get the guts up to do it a second time. You know what I mean?
right,
So having
right.
that disconnect there may cause a disconnect for the client. I don't want that. I don't like that. I don't like having links out that are disconnected. Now there's links that may be disconnected because they were older offers,
Mm, right.
but that's old. We're talking about what's going on right now. You helped me find that. So what you did was went through all of the emails and clicked the links to make sure they were going where they were going. If they weren't there, she put it in the document. Like so she's going to go through and give you everything you need to do in order to clean up that client road to give them that like red carpet experience.
Exactly.
That's
And then I think the other thing too is a lot of times because we have those offer graveyards and
yeah.
because we can do a lot of things, we lose the plot in a lot
Yes.
of our funnels.
Yes.
Trying to send them this place, that place, and the other place when really what people need is for you to tell them what to do.
Right.
And
What's next? What's the
so
next
that's
natural step?
right. So we want to make that client experience as clear as possible as like you said, white glove experience, like red carpet experience as possible, but also, make sure it's leading to where you need it to lead.
Right. So it more basically make it make sense. So
Yes.
so we're going to start with the end in mind
Yes.
and map it backwards and make sure that they meaning you listening if this is going to be something you're participate in, you're
Of
going
course
to
it
walk
is.
out with oh, duh. I mean we're us, we're awesome. We want
Yeah.
to make sure that the delivery at the end is this real clear path because oftentimes the thing in the way is us in our own way of looking at something that we've needed to look at for a while.
Mhm.
How do I know? How do you think part of this offer came up? Brooke and I were talking. I'm like, I've never really had you walk through this part because I've kind of been building things along the way or had help building certain things. And so I knew they were done well. But going back through certain elements and had you go through, and we found some stuff. We found some disconnects, and it's really insightful. I haven't gone back through and done all of them, but I definitely went in and fixed that disconnect, right? So
Yes.
it's going through that list. And then if they have a team, they'll hand that over to their team and their team can handle it. If they have a VA, they can figure out what they want to hand over. If it's for them, they can go in and just one thing at a time. So how I will do a deep dive for each of them and go back and forth with them on the offers. Let's say we're going to also have a group, Voxer, Telegram, whatever we end up deciding on, where
Yep.
they'll ask questions. We're doing a call a week plus the asynchronous work, right?
Right.
So the deep dive may be delivered in person. The deep dive may be delivered partially in person, and then the rest of it, once I've had my conversation with them, asynchronous, where I just like as a video that they're able to see. So we can
Yeah.
add, if I have to add any additional, time or I have to tweak something for them.
Right. Okay. So that's going to be the first 2 weeks. So we're just in 4.
Right.
So the first 2 weeks, you've got to logistically get 5 people,
Yes.
90-minute deep dives done. Does that
Right.
feel logistically like cool?
Well, because it's one offer and we're not looking at every single solitary part of their business, because yes,
Right.
we have to look at capacity because capacity is important when we're putting an
Right.
offer together.
Right. Right.
I would say the deep dive is probably going to be closer to a 60-minute time frame because it's a the part of the deep
Right.
dive with the client is a conversation. So I
Right.
do the intake, read it a few times, pull out what I see as strings that I go together, get the input
Mhm.
of the client, and then I'm able to like hand them the finished item.
Perfect.
Like how it, and then you'll be able to take it from there
Right.
and then say, okay, here's the technical parts of what need to be. I like this is going to be a good offer. I'm
Yeah.
excited about. Well, we knew we were excited about this offer, but this is
Yeah.
this.
So then I get to go inside and like look at stuff. And that's going to take me getting into the technology and the structures that they have
Yes,
in place and literally going through it with a fine tooth comb. And that means the freebie
passwords.
and the
Yeah,
offer.
yeah.
Yeah, it will mean exchange of passwords and things like that. I'm set
That's
up
why
for
we're
that in a
keeping it
secure
to a
way.
low
So it'll be
number
cool.
too, right?
Yeah.
That's why we want to keep
Yeah.
it a low number. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I can get in there and go through things line by line and mark off all the things we need to take care of. And over that 2 weeks, then we have that opportunity for people to ask questions about those things. I'm putting them into place. And both Carrie and I are well versed. And
Sorry,
what
I
that
cut you off.
means is like you've got access to
What?
2 different kinds of brains. So that's a really beneficial thing as well. And that's what the Voxer will give you access to. So or Telegram, probably Telegram. Voxer
Yeah,
is probably an overwhelming because
for
it's
some.
more
Mhm.
vocal.
Yes.
Yeah, where Telegram is more type and
Passive.
stuff. If we have that available and we're available, each of us are available in that we said 1 day each in that channel,
Yes.
and then we have 1 call with you the first week, 1 call with you the second week. Then
So are we gonna have so I'm gonna have a so okay.
are we doing this like a cohort like
Are we
we're
doing
gonna
this
have
like a cohort where are we having those 4 weeks for them to ask questions and we're doing a lot of the work front loaded, or how do we wanna do that? Am I having them the first 2 weeks and you're having them the second 2 weeks and then I'm in there and you're in the okay. Sorry, my brain was off.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let me just make sure because now I'm confused because when I said what I said, I wanna make sure that I'm clear. So, you have the first 2 weeks and you'll lead the calls for those 2
Yes.
weeks. I'll
Correct.
be there because,
Yep.
like, I wanna be there from front
Same.
to back,
Correct.
as do you.
Yes.
And then, so Voxer questions will likely be more geared towards you those first 2 weeks because that's what you're gonna be working on, but I'll still be in there to, be in there. And
Right, to,
then
like,
the
answer
second 2
questions that
weeks,
come up in
I'll
real
lead the
time.
calls. Yeah,
Like, for
yeah.
questions that come up in real time? Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think that we discussed this. I think we should have the opportunity for people to submit their questions
Yes.
for the calls. So there'll be a form for that because there could be some things where we need to do a little bit of like research on the back end of something versus spending
Yes.
all the time doing that there.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so we'll have that available, I think. And then, so for me, if I was watching this, what I would want to know would be what am I leaving with when we're done more specifically? So for me, when I visualize this, I see you're going to come in and you're going to leave Carrie with a clear client path with a freebie to a offer that
And the
make
welcome to the offer, so whatever the, like, welcome email or, whatever is up to basically that part, and then once
right.
the copy of the email is done, that's when it goes on
Right, and so you'll have all that completed, so when it gets to me, I get to fine tooth comb it and go make sure everything's connected,
Yes.
make sure that the tagging is done inside your emails, make sure that everything leads to the where you want it to lead, and same with the freebie and the offer, so that
Do
it's
they have
buttoned
to
up.
have any systems in place, or they come in with no systems, discombobulated systems? How do we want them coming in? Open to
I would
whatever our suggestion is?
I would say that they could come in with either nothing or a messy or whatever they have, and I can make recommendations. The thing that will give you more in the end is if you have a system built before the end of the cohort so that I can go through
Yes.
that system.
Yes.
So like if you're coming in, you're like, oh, all I have is, I just have people send me a Venmo, and then I deliver the service. Probably gonna wanna have an email system at least in place so that we
Yes.
can get that part connected and put together.
Right, and it
Um,
gets to be as easy as basic as that. It's just we wanna
yeah,
make sure that's there. Because honestly, to
yeah,
run a business, we need a payment link, we need a phone or some way to communicate with each other and our knowledge in our brain, whatever tools we need for that, right? But
right.
as our business grows and as it gets larger and as we wanna scale and as we start realizing like, where we want pockets of time back in our life, these are the next things that we start to do. And it's important to
Right.
do these along the way because if not, eventually you're bogged down with so many things. You're like, I don't even know where to start. And
Yeah.
we don't want them to get there basically.
No, I am all in favor of simplicity, of the easiest way possible for you, but I also am in favor of making sure that that simplicity isn't at the expense of your time. So when you have a system put together that's simple for you to run, but you're having to manually do every single step. So when someone buys something from you, it's not triggering your email sequence. That's a step you have to do. Either you're manually writing these emails every single time, or you're manually adding them to an email sequence, whatever it is. There's ways to not have to do that. And so simplicity, yes, but not at the expense of your sanity.
Well,
So,
and not as simplicity, yes, and also not at the expense of the client's
yes,
experience because it's easier to maintain a great relationship with a client and get referrals than it is to seek brand new clients. Like,
yes,
why don't we talk about retention? And I don't even necessarily mean retention as a client. I just mean
right.
retention in your universe.
Exactly.
It's like so giving that kind of experience, even if you offer a one-time service, I can name a handful of people who've given me one-time service that, like, the minute somebody says that service, their name immediately comes up. It's like,
Right, right,
it's because their service they gave me and that outcome, whatever that was that I wanted, whether it was a coaching outcome or my new website or whatever it was, I had great service. So
right.
that's what we wanna make sure that they have, and if so they've never really thought about client experience before, this may be the first time that they're like, "Oh,
Yes,
okay, got it."
very
You know
much
what I mean?
focused on the client experience because really when it comes down to it, that's where conversion comes from. So when they enter your freebie, if they don't have a good experience within that freebie, that conversion isn't gonna hit. It's not gonna come there. And once they're in your world, if they don't have a good client experience there, then where's the retention gonna come from? And
Right.
the last part is if they don't have a good experience, will they refer you? And we gotta be honest, like we live in a world where referrals are a huge part of what we
They're
do.
gold.
Yeah. So the client experience really is tied to your conversion,
Yeah.
your retention, and your
Yeah.
referrals every day.
Yeah. And what's cool is that we have worked together enough in this capacity with our own clients because Brooke
Mhm.
has referred clients to me who've had great success. I have referred clients to Brooke who have had great success. So
Right.
we also know how the other person works. So I know, oh, yes, that's something Brooke may be able to do. Let's talk to her about it. I will note that in my head. I won't say it out loud because I will go to
Right.
Brooke and say, but you know what I mean? That's why having this team, because we are both logistical thinkers, but we're thinking logistically about different parts. And that's
Right.
what's going to marry this so well for the client. All right. Yeah, no, just being able to have both aspects of our brains nerding together so that they don't have to. So you don't have
Yeah,
to, but they're active participants because it's their business. We wanna make it so it
exactly.
feels good to them. We want it okay, I'm gonna speak for myself. I
Please
want
do.
it to feel good for their clients and them,
Yeah,
right? So delivery feels good to them, and the delivery experience feels good to the client.
exactly.
And it doesn't
Exactly.
have to look like anything you're looking around you and seeing, "Oh, that's how they're doing it." Because I've had a client have a newsletter and a podcast as their freebies. I've had clients have social media everywhere and have a team. And things in between. So
Yeah,
there is not one way to put this together. So we may bring in ideas that they haven't even thought of. So that's the fun part
exactly.
too.
Exactly. I think that running a business for so long, and we say this a lot as people who help other people with their businesses, that it's hard to see it when you're so close to it. But I think the thing when we run it for so long and we've done it a certain way, we stop seeing what the client experiences on the other side too, because we're like, well,
Yes.
all the technical stuff is there, or all the pieces of my offer are really good. Yeah, they are. They are. But have you ever sat on the other side of that? Have you ever sat over there and experienced that? Well, of course not. And I think that's something that we can offer as well is
Right.
that outside eyeball that's like, okay, but your offer is excellent.
Right.
But like, what does this feel like for someone on the other side experiencing it?
Right. Well, and the other thing too is a lot of times I see things missing, like their freebie is literally in no way, shape, or form, even remotely connected to what it is they even help their clients do.
Yeah.
Because it's that throw spaghetti against the wall, right? It's like, "Oh, this is a great freebie. Oh, this one." But if it's not leading them to either your specialty or your style of mentorship or coaching or your style of your product, I mean, this can be product-based, service-based. We're gonna be focusing on service-based, but what we're saying can be for anything. It's like, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to look how you think it has to look because of what you're seeing going on around you. When you get a couple of people like us who have the strategy brains, who have a couple decades each of some capacity of what we do, it's like you're going to get different information than your own brain is going to create because you have all the thoughts you ever had and we have different ones. So we're going to be able to at least say, here are some other options.
Right.
And a lot of times when I say that to a client, they will say to me the words, "Well, I didn't know I could do that."
Literally can do it all. Yeah, I think that's interesting too, because we when you said about the freebie not being connected to anything, I think that we can dissect our business into pieces because we're so usually multi-passionate people who have a lot of things that we can help people with.
Yes.
Um, I think what happens is like, oh, this freebie idea, well, related to what I do, but not connected to my offer or not connected to my actual service. This will get people to sign up for my email list though.
Right.
And okay, sure. Yep. Great. Fantastic. But what are you doing with once you get there? And
Yeah.
like, you got them there under this pretense of this thing. Have you really considered what that means about them actually converting into real clients? It's
Right.
not leading to the right thing. It's so yes, it might be a great freebie, but is it the right freebie for you?
Right. Or is there a lack of context in the freebie that can easily be tweaked? It doesn't necessarily mean it needs a massive change. It may
Right.
just need tweaking in how it's discussed or tweaking in, is it talking to the person or is it
Right.
general? Like,
Yeah.
are you more of a specialist? Are you more of a generalist? We look at those things. Those all come into play, but it's not their job. It's not our client's job to figure all of that out. That's
Right.
part of our job.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a really cool thing for clarity on that end. When you're seeing that freebie thing, one thing I see behind the scenes in email stuff is that we're not using like tagging enough either. I think that was something I talked about the other day where let's say in your email, you've got like, click this link and I'll send you this thing, which links to another freebie or something that you've had, but you want this person to also have access to this. When they click that link, it takes them to a landing page to enter their email address again. They've already done that. They've already given you their email address. They're already on your email list, right? But the client experience is now, oh, I have to do this again. Where we can make that so they don't have to. We can make that so it automatically sends them the thing just when they click the link. And we miss a lot of that stuff too. Yes, this is the way that we have it set up that works for us and behind the scenes, but are we actually looking at how easy it is for them on the other side of things too. And that's something I see missed a lot.
Right. And if we're working business to business or even business to consumer,
Mhm.
we are in decision fatigue.
Oh, so
So
much.
when you say calls to action aren't required, I'm going to call bullshit because
Mm.
calls to action are an invitation that sometimes we need 17 times before we go, I keep saying I'm going to take that invitation. I should take it. And whatever that means, whatever area
Right.
of business or whatever. But that could also be business to consumer. It doesn't matter. But like, it's getting to that, getting them to that understanding. It's just making sure that the offer works for you and making sure that the offer works for them is equally important. I think that's another thing we don't make sure we look at enough is that
Definitely.
for us to not head towards, like you were saying, like have those things set up for the future. Well, one of the things we want to do is not write future burnout into our business plan, right? So if
Right.
we can do little things along the way that start to carry that load a little bit more along the way, and we can get to that more granular when the time is right, having that data or having that information can be helpful down the road. This is also something they can think about.
Right. Right. Absolutely. That's another thing too. With backend stuff, you just said data. Like we don't collect a lot of data sometimes, and backend systems can be built to collect that data for you automatically too.
Hmm.
And that's something that we miss. And that just makes your business easier for you in the long run. And it also allows you to make it more, what's the word I'm looking for? More like customized for
Right.
people as well. The experience that they have is more customized based on their interest or based on their actions they've taken with you or, things like
Right,
that.
like if they had a certain kind of offer that they did
Hmm.
before or they did something with you a year ago and it's running again and it's updated, you can email just that segment of people, even if they aren't buying it from you again, just as a
Right.
customer service, letting them know, hey, you bought this a year ago. I
Mhm.
updated it. It has new data based on Now's marketplace and you can
Right.
send it to just those people. Is that what you're meaning? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
think of the customer service you could give with something like that if you wanted to update something once a year. That's another
Hmm.
touch point also, right?
Yes. Yes. And when you've got it all set up in the beginning to do those things, to segment people so that you can target them in marketing or assist them based off of what they did. So I think we have the outline of a
I
really
do too.
amazing
I do too.
cohort coming
Right.
up.
And you have the document to do the review of the systems. You probably would just need to create, like duplicate that and then have them put whatever their logins are in there. And also, we want to make sure in the email they get for the welcome
Mm.
that they go through with you in the beginning to get you into those systems? Do you think that will be
Yeah, I
how do we
think
wanna do
depending on
that?
where they're at with their systems, I guess. If they're gonna come into the second half where they don't have systems created, then we have a whole different thing that we'll tackle together. But,
Okay.
if they
They can
have
just bring in
systems
what they
in
have.
place, yeah, we'll do secure password exchanges. I have a
Okay.
program for that. So
Oh, you
and
do? That's cool.
yeah, it's fancy.
Awesome. I love that.
And we'll try to do that front load the first week with me. So the 3rd week
Mhm.
will be a big, like, "Give me all your stuff. I'm gonna do all the reviews in the first week so that we have the second week to actually ask
Answer any additional
ask and
questions.
answer." Yeah.
Okay. Do
Mhm.
you think that that handover 2nd and 3rd week, do you think 2 weeks is gonna be enough time for you to do that for 5 people?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think the one thing that if anybody is done, has their system figured out in the first week with you and they wanna move on, by all means, we can.
Yeah.
But no, I think the
Well, I mean, I
1 week.
think there'll be people who are probably a little earlier into this, and people who are
Right.
like just want to really tighten it up. So it really will. And I think that's why it's good to have it for 5 people too, is we'll
Mhm.
be able to feel out what those first handful of people come to us with, and be able to be like, okay, maybe if we decide to do it again, okay, then we need to make sure that we have this parameter, or oh, we didn't need that parameter. So
Right.
if we do decide to do it again,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because it's so small, we can customize the experience for each of them a little bit too. But I want to make
right?
sure that
But
they
it
get
is an
that.
experience.
Yeah. But I want to make sure that they leave with something super, super solid. So having that 2 weeks to get that first half in order and then having 2 weeks to get the second half in order, I think is going to be, focus on those things. Make sure those things are really buttoned up. Make sure
Yeah,
we're really leaving with something super solid that you're
yeah,
ready to go out to the world with. And, it might be the same thing you're going out in the world with right now. It might
yes.
be, but it's going to be
But
so tight and the experience for you and your customer is going to be so solid. It's going to be conversion, retention, and referral ready.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think do you think that's the offer name?
Referral ready.
What was it? Something you said 3
Conversion,
R's.
retention,
Yeah,
referral.
referral ready.
I've been trying because I've been
Retention,
using
referral
those
ready.
3 things in my messaging a lot, but, like, I can't find an R for the first one, so CRR. It's like CCR, but
Like, I was
not.
gonna say cute water. Oh, man. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to play with it. You don't get to know the name of it yet, because okay,
Mm-mm.
when are we looking at, like, the shove off of launching, like, actually talking about it?
Yeah, I think we discussed that probably a really good time to launch the actual like, actually do the cohort is gonna be at the end of August.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking we start talking about this puppy the last week of July.
That's perfect, because that gives us a month to get everything that we wanna get buttoned up before we have to market it.
Yeah,
Have to, have to.
we'll
I
go
love
through our offer just like
Mhm.
we do for you. Make
Yes,
sure it's
yes.
beautiful.
Yes, but it's gonna be simple.
Yeah,
It's like deliverables are gonna come in Google Docs, but what a better way to do it, because then those are things that they can edit, or they can turn into a checklist, or make a copy of and hand it
yeah.
to the person who helps them in their business and say, "Tighten this shit up," It's like
Google
just
Docs are an experience. They're a live, living, breathing experience. I love Google
I
Docs.
agree, and I love Canva docs, and they're beautiful. I love, like, for graphics, but I hand almost everything to my clients now in a Google Doc, because I will make a PDF of my final version that I handed to them before
Yeah,
they made any changes, just so they have a reference if they ever wanted to go back to, like, the original I gave them.
right.
I
Yeah.
give that PDF. Besides that, that document becomes theirs to do with as
Yeah.
they please. So
Same. They get a Google sheet from me with all the stuff too. So, and yeah, living, breathing, it's yours
yes.
to use.
Yeah. So for my part, I'll be able to help them button it up, tighten all the front end freebie if they decide, like making sure the freebie is a good connective, because the freebie is connective tissue, right? It's like your
Mhm.
business is like the bones, the skeleton, but you're like freebies, whether that's a podcast or a document or whatever. That's your connective tissue and your muscles. Those need to be strong too. And don't underestimate the power of something a little longer form, because even though in this day and age when people say nobody reads anymore, I think that's bull crap. I think that's bull crap. I think we don't read things we're not interested or don't care about,
Right.
especially if we're neurodivergent. We're interest based,
Mhm.
right? So, but this is going to create an experience for our clients who come into this so that they can see what that looks like, and they got can come, like, once they're in this, they can come back and listen to how we did this too. So it'll just be fun. This is so fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to see which 5 people are gonna come in there and get this experience. I can't wait to work with them.
Yeah, we
What
have
is
to
it
talk
gonna
about
be?
price point too. So we'll do
We
that. And
do.
well,
Another time.
yeah. All right. So
Okay.
I think we'll stop the recording part for
Yay.
this.
If you want to talk through what's actually happening in your business, that's why I'm here. The link to contact me is in the show notes. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next Tuesday.